It was the moment millions of devotees had been waiting for. Today, the 5th of August, will be remembered as the day when the foundation of the Ram Mandir was laid in Ayodhya. Prime Minister Modi led 1 billion Indians as he performed the Bhumi Pujan. He called the Ram Mandir a symbol of unity. Keeping with tradition, Prime Minister Modi began his day at Hanuman Gadi. Here are the 10 top headlines of what will be a historic day for all time to come.
Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram.
This one image signified a new dawn in Ayodhya. A moment etched in history. A moment that millions of devotees have waited for. The first stone laid by the Prime Minister of India for the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya. At the Ram Janmabhoomi site, Prime Minister Modi bowed down, surrendering himself to Lord Ram. The Dandvat Pranam is performed by lying fully prostrate on the floor with arms stretched out. It's a symbol of complete submission that reminds devotees to respect God and cultivate humility. In addition to the religious aspects, the Dandvat Pranam is also a combination of 3 yogic postures. The other significant image of the day was the Prime Minister praying to Ram Lalla Virajman at the makeshift temple in Ayodhya. Dressed in a golden-coloured traditional dhoti kurta and a traditional saffron stole, Prime Minister Modi offered prayers to the infant Lord Ram. An elaborate Bhumi Pujan was one of the top highlights of the day. The puja was done exactly at the same spot where Ram Lalla Virajman once rested. Chants of Bharat Mata Ki Jai and Jai Shri Ram reverberated through the air. Flanked by RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat, UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath and Governor Anandiben Patel and the head of the Temple Trust, the Prime Minister performed the rituals meticulously, watched on by close to 150 prominent saints and seers from across the country. The Bhumi Puja ceremony that lasted for just over 30 minutes from 12:10 to 12:44 p.m. culminated with the Prime Minister and Yogi Adityanath putting the soil from the foundation site as tilak on their foreheads.
Shri Narendra Damodar Das Modi.
9 bricks were kept during the Bhumi Pujan, sent by devotees of Lord Ram from around the world in 1989. The priest conducting the rituals declared that there were 2,75,000 such bricks, out of which 100 bricks with Jai Shri Ram engraved on them were taken for the ceremony.
ये श्री राम पूजित शिलाएं हैं जो 1989 में सारे संसार के राम भक्तों ने पूजन करके भेजी। ऐसी लगभग 2,75,000 शिलाएं, उसमें से पत्थर की ठोस शिलाएं निकाली गई जिन पर जय श्री राम लिखा हुआ है।
Before laying the foundation stone of the Ram Mandir, the Prime Minister planted a Parijat sapling in the temple complex. The Parijat, also known as coral jasmine tree, is believed to be the Kalp Vriksh or Kalptaru, a wish-granting tree. Parijat is mentioned in the Puranas and other sacred texts. The flowers of the tree bloom at night and fall on the ground all by themselves. That's why Parijat is the only flower that can be offered to the deities after being picked directly from the ground. plaque, a postage stamp, and a statue of Lord Ram were also unveiled from stage by the Prime Minister, the UP Chief Minister, and the head of the Temple Trust, Nitya Gopal Das, to commemorate the occasion. But it all started at Hanumangadi. As per tradition, Prime Minister Narendra Modi offered prayers at Hanumangadi temple before proceeding to Ram Janmabhoomi site. It was here that he was presented with a headgear, a silver mukut and a stole by Sri Gadin Sheen Prem Das Maharaj, head priest of the 10th century temple. This divine image, the first glimpse of the Ram Lalla, is historic. Decorated with flowers and adorned in new green garments, the infant god is flanked by his three brothers. The green garments that are engraved with Navratna jewels are said to be auspicious for Wednesday.
Oh. There were celebrations that broke out in different parts of India and across the world after this historic Bhumi Pujan was performed in Ayodhya. Images coming in from Washington, images coming in from Jaipur, images of people out in strength, despite the concern around the pandemic, out in strength, celebrating. In Jain, Nagpur, Washington, Jaipur, those scenes are replicated in city after city, where for many people it was a moment of catharsis, a moment that they'd been waiting decades for. For Prime Minister Narendra Modi, life had come a full circle. 3 decades ago, when Lal Krishna Advani and Murli Manohar Joshi were leading the original Ram Rath Yatra, Narendra Modi at that time had a very small, minor, fringe role to play. But one of the photographers who met him when Narendra Modi went to Ayodhya says that the man at that time told him, "I'll come back again only when the Ram temple is built." So from playing a very small role when this entire Andolan started to now being front and center when this Bhumi Pujan ceremony happened, it's been one ride for Narendra Modi and a promise that he made, which was kept today. Here's the story.
From being the first charioteer of the Ram Janmabhoomi movement to laying the foundation stone of the Ram Mandir. For Prime Minister Modi, it's a culmination of a shared dream by millions. Three decades ago, in September 1990, Lal Krishna Advani set off from Somnath in Gujarat on his Ram Rath Yatra, setting the course for the BJP, changing the politics of the country forever. And besides Advani and Murli Manohar Joshi, there was young Narendra, less visible at the time, but very much embarked on the landmark Rath Yatra. A young Modi, sporting his trademark smile and beard, could be seen galvanizing the crowds as the Ram Rath went across the country, welcomed by crowds in their thousands. A BJP General Secretary at the time, Modi was very much the party karyakarta, on his way, but nowhere near the towering leader that he is today. But even then, he was resolute. In 1991, when Modi was in Ayodhya with Murli Manohar Joshi and took a solemn vow that he would not set foot in the temple town till the Ram Mandir begins.
फोटो हमने 91 में मोदी जी की खींची थी जब वो रामलला का जन्मोत्सव था, उसमें आए थे। तो एक संजोग ही था कि मैंने उनसे प्रश्न ही कर लिया था कि अब कब आएंगे, क्योंकि वो दाढ़ी उस समय रखाए थे, मुझे अच्छे लगे। तो उस समय कोई बहुत बड़ा नाम उनका नहीं था, क्योंकि ना मुख्यमंत्री थे न थे, तो मुझे उनसे ही पूछना पड़ा। तो उन्होंने कहा जब मंदिर बनेगा तब मैं आऊँगा।
And on Wednesday, the Prime Minister kept that promise. He took center stage as he laid the foundation stone for a grand Ram temple. It began with this signature obeisance.
बरसों से टाट और टेंट के नीचे रहे हमारे रामलला के लिए अब एक भव्य मंदिर का निर्माण होगा। सदियों से चल रहे इस व्यतिक्रम से राम जन्मभूमि आज मुक्त हुई है।
For Modi, a 3-decade journey comes full circle. From the dusty highways of India to the hallowed ground of the Ram Janmabhoomi. 2 journeys, both with very different ends. Or as Modi himself calls it, a real beginning. Bureau Report, India Today.
Joining us live and exclusive on India Today at this time is Union Law Minister and a man who's been the advocate for the Ram Lalla deity, Ravi Shankar Prasad, out in his bright yellow kurta, the color of Lord Ram. Ravi Shankar Prasad ji, welcome to India Today. And as a man who's been associated with the legal fight and this entire movement to try and start the building of the Ram temple, what does this day of the 5th of August symbolize to you personally, as a Karyakarta of the Bharatiya Janata Party, as a minister in this government and as a former advocate of Ram Lalla?
Let me tell you, I was also an activist who participated in the movement. I was the Youth Wing All India Vice President, travelled in the country, travelled with Advani ji, visited Ayodhya many times. When Advani ji was arrested by Lalu Prasad in the Rath Yatra in Bihar in 1990, I was his lawyer. Thereafter, destiny willed that I argue the case of Hindus and Ram Lalla in the Allahabad High Court, where we succeeded. And therefore, it is a great day for me personally of satisfaction. But I am a very simple cog in the wheel. Today is a great fulfillment of national aspiration. As the Honorable Prime Minister rightly said, Ram sabon ke aur sab mein Ram. That is very important. But yes, Rahul Kamal, I should be very honest to you, it took close to 70 years for this day to come. That by itself is at times very intriguing. This morning I had tweeted, and I'm happy you have also responded, whereby in the original constitution of 1950, the founding fathers, right from Nehruji to Sardar Patel to Maulana Azad to Ambedkar, said the pages must animate with India's spiritual heritage. And just above fundamental right is Lord Ram along with Mata Janki and Lakshmanji coming to Ayodhya after defeating Ram. If that was the spirit of the founding fathers, the great leaders, we rightly expected that like Somnath, this temple ought to have been constructed. Yeah.
Some like Asuddin Owaisi, however, still striking a discordant note from the AIMIM saying hashtag Babri Zinda Hai, linking it to the Hagia Sophia, saying that's a great example for India's Muslim usurpation of the land by an unjust, oppressive, shameful majority seeking appeasement cannot change its status, no need to be heartbroken. Situations don't last forever. So instead of turning a new chapter, starting a new day, you've got the likes of Asuddin Owaisi still trying to stoke divisions.
My reply is very simple. The original litigant today attend or not, other distinguished social worker Muslim attend or not, I will not take name of anyone. And I know for sure, majority of the Muslims of India are happy. I would say very happy. I have been interacting with them. They wanted a closure pursuant to Supreme Court judgment. As for the gentleman whose name you have taken, my reply to him is very simple. He is a leader from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana. The Telangana BJP spokesperson will reply to him. Okay?
We've seen the likes...
I'm not supposed to engage with him.
We've seen the likes of Vinay Katyar, who's been closely associated with this movement, welcome the starting of the construction process, but saying that our mission to construct temples at Kashi and Mathura will start afresh. Now, we know that the Sangh has taken a position saying those are chapters in the past, but how do you, as a BJP leader, as law minister, view the demands that will come from within some elements of the Sangh Parivar, even if they are on the fringe, saying that, okay, now that we've got Ayodhya, let's start working towards Kashi and Mathura?
I know Vinay Katiyar has done a great heroic role in the entire movement. All of us know that. But as regard this is concerned, today we are only concentrating on having a Bhavya Ram Mandir. You don't pit me against him. There is also a law passed by Narasimha Rao government in a hurry, whereby there is a status quo with regard to them, passed by Parliament, except Ram Lalla. We'll have to look into all these things. But I would go a little further, Rahul. I don't want to give you a headline that you pit me A against B. I would say this. Today's great historic emotional moment and the extraordinary speech like a statesman of the Prime Minister is one of inclusion, one of assimilation, and portraying not only Lord Ram as a great messenger of spiritual divinity and Maryada Purushottam only for India but globally, as to how Sagun to Nirgun, to Malaysia, to Indonesia, to many other countries. And don't forget one thing, apart from outlining and his role in the Mahatma Gandhi movement of Ram Rajya, Satya, Ahimsa, he also said one thing, again Lord Ram saying, Bin bhai hot na preet. A country has to be strong to ensure peace. Therefore, when he outlined the philosophy of Maryada Purushottam Ram in its entirety, that is a very powerful statement.
Do you think that statement that you just referred to, the need for a country to be strong so that it can ward off its enemies at some level in the context of what's happening between India and China, is aimed in an international context? If you need to build your own domestic capacity so that every enemy then knows your strength and stays away from you, doesn't mess with you.
What the PM has said. I can only tell you, as an IT electronic minister, I am trying to make in India a big movement. And you may have seen recently that in the production link incentive, which we crafted, all the top companies of the world have applied, and they have promised will make mobile phone and component worth 12 lakh crore in the coming 5 years, export worth 7 lakh crore in the 5 years, and give job to 12 lakh Indians, 3 lakh direct and 9 lakh indirect. And Rahul, remember, they have trusted India during these challenging times of economic stress arising out of COVID. And before that, billions of dollars by Google, by Facebook. What does it all indicate? The world is trusting Modi ji, the world is trusting India, and the world is trusting India's human resource, open society, democracy. When the Prime Minister says, Bhai bin hot na preet, he wants India to be resurgent, strong, militarily and also economically.
Now, the 5th of August as a date is clearly becoming very important for the BJP, for the RSS, for all followers of the Sangh. Last year on the same day, we saw Article 370 being abrogated. Now we've seen the construction of the Ram temple starting on the same date. Is this just coincidence? Is this a special day? Will the 5th of August next year be a red letter day as well? There's a lot of demand now from the supporters of the BJP to push ahead with the Uniform Civil Code, in which you will have an important role to play, Minister.
Well, 5th August, it was decided by the Mandir Nirman Samiti Trust. They offer 2 dates, 3 and 5, whichever suits the Prime Minister. The PM thought it convenient because it was going to occupy the whole day of his program. And you know, PM is so busy. Therefore, that you are reading too much. But one thing I would surely say, yes, it is a great day. I agree with you. It is a historic day. And the design of Ram temple which has been created, I must tell you, It is going to become one of the finest temples of the world for its architectural beauty and the kind of larger narrative which the central government and the state government has for Ayodhya. It will become one of the most important city from tourism and spiritual tourism for the world, bringing a lot of revenue and improvement of the area surrounding Ayodhya and also Uttar Pradesh.
But there are many who are opposed to the idea of your government, have been firmly opposed to your politics, who are calling this the end of the idea of secular India. And I want you to tell us how you respond to those critics. I want to quote to you just one line from what Pratap Bhanu Mehta writes in the Indian Express this morning. He's called this virtually akin to an act of terrorism, the razing down of the mosque. He says this temple is not a product of piety but retaliation and revenge for an event that happened centuries ago. So what is your response as a minister in this government to all those who are calling this date and the start of the construction as the death of the idea of a secular India?
There are two types of people. I will not take name of anyone. And there are some people like that who used to issue public appeal, don't vote for Narendra Modi. Remember that? 2014? Okay. The same appeal they repeated in 2019. Okay. So they have got not only a position but some kind of a pathological hatred against my party and against my leader, Narendra Modi. Good luck to them. India is a democracy. अब लोग उनकी नहीं सुनते तो हम क्या करें? Rahul Babu, आप बताइए. That's one thing I have to say. The second point, all these friends used to say, wait for the court verdict. Wait for the court verdict. You remember that?
Sure.
Even a notional Shila Puja used to be opposed by them. Okay? They sought to intervene in the Supreme Court. They used to do everything to frustrate any activity. Now when the unanimous verdict has come, after so much elaborate hearing, you call it terrorism? Is it fair? I am asking a question. And people of India, pursuant to the appeal of the Prime Minister, very humbly respected the judgment or not. I remember, Rahul, after winning the case in the Allahabad High Court, I had made an appeal to the people of, to the Muslim community. You have got 1/3, we have got 1/3, including the place of worship where Ram Lalla is there, and the 1/3 to Nirmohi Akhada. You can go to Supreme Court, but accept the judgment today. Allow a temple to be constructed. And the word I had used was, Desh mein ek naya bhaichara hoga. Okay? They came to Supreme Court. Again, 12 years happened. Therefore, if you believe in rule of law, and the rule of law has run its course, leading to a judgment, you are not willing to accept it. And let me give you a counter narrative. Suppose the same thing would have happened in the case of a place of worship of someone else. What would have been their narrative? That's all I have to say.
Finally, Minister, this is being called the day from where there will be a modern version of Ram Rajya. Could you explain your conception of Ram Rajya? What does the BJP, Modi government's version of the modern day Ram Rajya look like? How would you define it? What is it to you?
I think we are already giving a lot of indication of that. Is it not a corruption-free government? Tell me. Is it not a fact that middlemen and brokers have no entry in the corridors of power in Delhi? It is 6 years. Is it not a fact that India's respect has arisen? Is it not a fact that we have been able to show to many that India of 2020 is not the India of 1962? Is it not a fact that we have given suitable, effective and prompt reply to terrorists across the border? Is it not a fact that we have run one of the finest programs of inclusion in the country? And just to give one example, direct benefit transfer. We have transferred 11.5 lakh crore rupees by Jan Dhan, Aadhaar and mobile. Many I handle myself in the last 5.5 years. And we have in 439 pro-poor welfare measures of the government of India and state government. And we have saved 1,70,000 crores. And in this COVID, out of 1,70,000 crores, we have transferred 70,000 crores to the needy direct to their bank account without any middleman or fictitious claimants. I think that is an indication of a good governance, which we call Ram Rajya.
Okay, we'll leave
Others we can talk about. But what we have been doing, Rahul, today allow the temple feeling, emotional feeling to remain there. And I'm sure I can say you should also be happy, so as many others are. Okay? It will be a Ram temple of assimilation, of love, of affection, and empowering India to global height.
This indeed is a big day for the Bharatiya Janata Party, for every member of the Sangh Parivar, for you personally. And we're delighted that you could join us to share with us your thoughts on what is very clearly a red letter day, even though you're saying don't read much into the date of the 5th of August. But we will keep a close track on what happens next year. Ravi Shankar Prasad ji, for joining us with your thoughts. Thank you very much.